3 minutes. San Diego, go ahead and lock on to lane 6, please.
A little while before we begin this next race, race number 90, the women's alumni final. I'd like to mention that if you haven't noticed it already, we have a lot of very fine vendors in our vendor area with a wide display of items involved not only with rowing but other things as well. So maybe you might take a chance to wander on through there and see if there's something that you might enjoy, a place that you might need more information from. And then, of course, down at the southern end of our venue here, we have the kids area. And if you have youngsters with you that may have tired of playing in the sand, they might enjoy bouncing around in some of the apparatus down in the kids area. Lovely afternoon for the San Diego Crew Classic. Certainly the weather prediction did not come true. It was supposed to be raining and windy today. Unfortunately, we have once again, in America's finest city, dodged the bullet. While you're wandering through the vendors area, you might consider stopping by the merchandise tent. There they have DVDs of each individual race. The DVDs are completed and ready to go about an hour after the completion of the race. Outstanding camera angles and commentary as they come down the race course. Stop by and get your souvenir DVD of an individual race in which you might have an interest. They're only $15 at the merchandise tent.
USD, UCD, St. Mary's, UCSD-A, UCSD-B. Attention. Go.
Event 90, the women's alumni final has begun. In lane 1, we have University of San Diego alumni. Lane 2, University of California, Davis alumni. Lane 3, St. Mary's College of California alumni. Lane 4, UC San Diego A alumni, and UC San Diego B alumni is rowing in lane 6. There is no boat rowing in lane 5. As we pass through the breakdown lane, we have a clean start. Our early leader is St. Mary's in lane 3. Lane 1 will be in second place. That's University of San Diego. Lane 4, UC San Diego A, and lane 2, UC Davis are battling for third place. And UC San Diego B is trailing. Lane 1, University of San Diego is pushing back on St. Mary's in lane 3. Lane 2, UC Davis is continuing to stay close to the leaders. Lane 4, UC San Diego has dropped back a little bit, and UC San Diego B continues to row in 5th place. It continues to be St. Mary's and leading this pack. However, University of San Diego has just made a move and has come up on them several seats. UC Davis in lane 2 holds in there, continuing to maintain significant overlap. The 2 UC San Diego boats are now back by open water. As we approach the 500-meter mark, USD in lane 1 has caught up to St. Mary's, and it is now bow-ball to bow-ball with lane 2 UC Davis definitely in 3rd place, and UC San Diego A 4th, UC San Diego B in 5th place.
The women's alumni final. St. Mary's being challenged by the University of San Diego. Also up on the leaders would be Davis, with the UC San Diego crews A and B having a bit of a struggle and trailing at this time.
A lot of this would depend, Alan, on what amount of time they've been able to spend either in the boat together or indeed on the ergometer individually. By the looks of it, there is a wide disparity in this race in the level of preparation that these alumni boats have been able to put in. At the front of the race, we're seeing some very hard rowing going on. At the back of the race, we're seeing a situation where the athletes are rediscovering their relationship with the water.
St. Mary's continues on the lead. University of San Diego took a run at him and has fallen back just slightly, but certainly not out of touch. Davis is in that third position there in lane number 2, and the University of California San Diego crews struggling a bit and trailing, so it looks like it's going to be a 3-boat race here. University of San Diego made a nice move on St. Mary's, but it looks like the Gales have fought them back and continue to hold on to that first place position with Davis in third. In the center lane, lane number 3, as a matter of fact, St. Mary's continues on the lead with University of San Diego, then Davis. University of San Diego in lane number 1 along the shoreline. Davis in lane 2, but our leader St. Mary's in lane 3. And then it looks like the University of California B boat may have the best of their partner in the A. This is the women's alumni final.
We're looking at the crew from, I believe, St. Mary's, who are challenging the University of San Diego for the lead in this race, or were earlier. In fact, St. Mary's may have actually had the lead in this race earlier, but I believe that honor is now with the University of San Diego. The challenge from UC Davis to these front-running crews seems to have dropped off, and then it's a distance back from UC Davis to the UC San Diego A boat, and then a further distance back to the UC San Diego B boat.
St. Mary's has gotten crosswise to their lane here. Not sure exactly what the problem is, but that's going to cost them some time and distance.
Yeah.
They veered rather radically towards the west side of the lane and now seem to have righted the ship, so to speak, and getting back into their lane situation. Didn't seem to cost them a whole lot, however, as they continue to edge on the lead with the University of San Diego along the shoreline. Possibly might be able to take advantage of that course correction, and it looks like they may have done so, as they have now closed the gap, and University of San Diego along the shoreline continues to inch up on the early leader, St. Mary's.
Yes, Alan, the fastest or the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, and that never holds truer than on a rowing race course. You do not want to have major deviations from one side of your lane to the other, or indeed from one lane into another lane. When we saw a situation like that where St. Mary's appeared to be coming straight at us here at the commentary booth for a while rather than pointing down the race course, usually due to a lapse of concentration in the coxing. The cox gets too carried away with where they are and what effort they want the crew to put in, or indeed it may be the cox having to react to a variation in pressure that they're experiencing from the rowers within the boat.
Well, University of San Diego did take advantage of the situation, as they have now launched ever so slightly into the lead. St. Mary's had things in hand, and then they took a deviation with a capital D there, and that hurt their chances. They've done a pretty good job of getting it righted and fighting back, but it still continues to be the University of San Diego taking advantage of the situation. They are in the lane number 1, that's along the shore. And then St. Mary's outboard there. Davis is the next crew with substantial amount of open water back to them. And then the University of California, check that, the University of California San Diego A crew is doing better than their B crew right now. But this is the University of San Diego coming along the shoreline. Took advantage of a difficult situation for St. Mary's and is now apparently translating that into an alumni final win for the women's in race number 90. University of San Diego. As the Toreros get to the finish line ahead of St. Mary's. St. Mary's had the lead a long ways and then ran into some sort of problem, went crossways to the lane and took quite a few meters longer to get straightened back out. This is Davis moving along, and then they will be ahead of the University of California San Diego A boat, and then the University of California San Diego B boat is trailing rather markedly in this race. But once again, congratulations to the University of San Diego, winners of the Women's Alumni Final.
Yes, Davis challenged early in that race, but their challenge tailed off a bit, and UC San Diego A boat managed to come back on them a bit in the second half of the race.
Event number 91, the men's alumni